New developments in the San Bernardino shooting. A photo emerges overnight of the couple entering the U.S. for the first time together. This as the feds put one of their family members on the terror watch list, and L.A. braced for a possible second attack.
Look as the damage after a fire tore through a dozen businesses overnight. The warning firefighters have for anybody who may be thinking they want to sift through this damage.
A car crashed, flipped, and then slammed into a brick wall. Why the driver wasn't making it any easier for emergency crews.
Live from the Scripps Studios, this is 10 News.
6 o'clock on this Monday morning. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Virginia Cha.
And I'm Robert Santos in for Jason Martinez. I know, brand new week, brand new day, and we're looking at some changes, but we're really going to have to wait for a bit.
And all this pink you want to explain.
I know, the pretty pink that's on our screen, right? So our high surf advisory, we ended one last week with one, and we're starting this week with another one, and we're going to end the week with another one. So large surf and dangerous rip currents, really the big story along our beaches the next several days. It's in effect as of right now until 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. Could see sets up to 10 feet. Beautiful start over La Jolla, 58 degrees here. Sunrise officially in about 39 minutes. Along the coastline, climbing to 76 this afternoon. Again, large surf, coastal flooding, dangerous rip currents. If you're not a great swimmer, don't jump in the water. For our inland areas, another day to dress in layers because we're climbing to 81 this afternoon. In 10 minutes, I'll have San Diego's certified most accurate highs for where you live, including in Oceanside and Poway. Renee.
Well, a crash on the 8 West out of El Cajon now cleared. Finally, we've been dealing with this all morning. Now, your commute is picking up as you head through that area. No major slowing according to our maps out of Santee on the 52, but I do expect that to change very quickly. Caltrans, if we can get over there, giving us a look at the 5 northbound brake lights. That's near Old Town. Things looking really good right there so far. And our 10 News Sky Cam giving us a peek at the 94 headlights heading west into downtown. In 10 minutes, your commute over the Coronado Bridge. Guys.
Thank you, Renee. 6:02. We have some new information on the San Bernardino shooting. Intelligence officials say they received word of a threat from ISIS about a follow-up attack targeting San Bernardino and that it was supposed to happen yesterday. It did not, but future threats are just one of the many reasons investigators are working overtime to dig into the couple behind the San Bernardino shooting and who may be connected to them. Meantime, witnesses say the wife, Tashfeen Malik, shot first at the holiday party at the Inland Regional Center while her husband, Saeed Farouk, hesitated. 14 people were killed in that attack, 21 people injured. And take a look, these are the first pictures showing Farouk and his wife Malik when she first arrived here in the U.S. with him in 2014. Investigators are trying to figure out the couple's backgrounds, how they may be linked to ISIS. On Friday, investigators said Malik left a post on Facebook under an alias pledging allegiance to ISIS. Meantime, investigators are looking into Farouk's father, Saeed Farouk Sr., now on the FBI terror watch list as a precaution to prevent him from leaving the country.
Well, as the investigation continues, President Obama tried to calm nerves in a rare Sunday Oval Office address, the first in 5 years. ABC's Lana Zach tells us how Republican candidates are refuting the president's words. Good morning, Lana.
Good morning. There weren't any big surprises in the president's speech. He had made the case for many of these actions already, but aides say that these remarks were particularly important to the president, who worked on them throughout the weekend.
In a rare primetime Oval Office address, President Obama spoke directly to the American public.
As Commander-in-Chief, I have no greater responsibility than the security of the American people.
The president outlined his approach to fight terrorism's new phase, calling on Congress to vote to authorize the continued use of military force against ISIS. He urged legislation that would prevent anyone on the terror watch list from easily buying a gun and ordered a review of the visa program that allowed the female killer in the San Bernardino shooting to enter the United States. Republican presidential candidates wasted no time responding to the president's speech. On Fox, Marco Rubio said this was more of the same.
And nothing that happened in this speech tonight is going to assuage people's fears.
The president also addressed Muslims directly, asking for their help in fighting back against radicalization and urged all Americans to reject discrimination. Lana Zach, ABC News, Washington.
Look at all the police cars descending on this mall in Riverside as people inside ran out for their lives because of a false report of a gunman. Now, this morning we have this new video from inside the Tyler Mall. This is the moment people started running out of this jewelry store. Now, there was no gunman, but 3 people were inside robbing the place. They were using sledgehammers to smash the counters and steal things, and some people mistook that noise for gunfire. Shoppers, of course, were already on edge after the San Bernardino shooting less than a week before.
We just heard what happened in San Bernardino, and it's like, you know, what is this world coming to?
We just grabbed each other and started running out the door, and right as I got out the door, I fell, and so people were like trampling me.
You can see she's okay, though. In fact, no one was seriously hurt, but the mall did go into lockdown for several hours. Those 3 thieves, by the way, got away.
Well, breaking overnight, investigators are trying to figure out what started a fire inside this business complex in Mission Valley. 10 News reporter Marie Cornell is there, and workers are going to show up to work and find a warning on the door there, Marie.
Yeah, Robert, so the note says that the building is secure, but it warns about smoke inhalation. Right now, I'm going to walk you over here to show you the stuff that firefighters removed from inside of this building. I mean, you can see it's just a charred mess. You can't really make out what the stuff is, but I want to show you what it looked like when crews got here off of Camino del Rio South, where you see firefighters cutting through the bars of the windows. We're told the flames were shooting from that section. Investigators, after some time, walked around inside to get a better look at the damage and then try and figure out a cause, which is still under investigation. We are told no one was inside of the building at the time and no one was hurt. We're live from Mission Valley. Marie Cornell, 10 News.
Thank you, Marie. Also breaking overnight, take a look to see the driver right here slammed into a brick wall in Carlsbad and then refused to let paramedics help him. 10 News reporter Jared Aarons is live in Carlsbad right now. So, Jared, do you know how that driver is doing now?
Oh, Virginia, the last we heard, he has serious injuries to his head and upper body. He is at the hospital in La Jolla. Let me walk you through this accident. You'll kind of get an understanding why he was hurt so bad. This is Carlsbad Boulevard, just north of Cannon, where the driver lost control. Police say he flipped his car several times, even taking out this bike lane sign, and then crashed into this brick wall. You see all the damage he did, this big crack here in the middle of the wall, and then this chunk taken out of the concrete as well. He was pinned inside the car after he crashed, and as you can see, he didn't really want emergency crews to help him out very much. He was struggling, shaking his head, screaming at them. Once they finally got him out of that car, though, a helicopter flew him to the hospital. Police tell us he was either drunk or maybe even on drugs when he crashed. They won't know which until they finish their investigation. All they've told us so far this morning is that the driver is 23 years old and he's from San Marcos. They're not sure where he was headed as he was driving south through Carlsbad. Live in Carlsbad, Jared Aarons, 10 News.
Breaking overnight, Beijing has raised its smog alert level to red. That is the highest level possible, and this is the first time that they have ever had it on a red alert. Now they're expecting 3 straight days of smog. This is following bad smog alerts last week, and here's what it looked like last week as well. You can't see an obvious difference there, but again, this is the highest alert possible. Schools are closing, even odd and even numbered cars, they've got to drive on different days. In the 10 News Live Center, guys, back over to you.
That is some serious smog there.
Really
okay,
is.
6:08 now. The Justice Department will open an investigation into the Chicago Police Department. This comes after protests over how it handled the case of a black teen who was shot and killed by an officer. Dashcam video showing 17-year-old Laquan McDonald being shot 16 times last year. All this has led to the resignation of the Chicago Police Superintendent. The DOJ says that the investigation will determine whether police violated constitutional rights. Critics claim city leaders covered up key details of the shooting.
6:09 happening today. People will stop to remember the more than 2,400 lives lost at Pearl Harbor. Japan launched a surprise attack on the U.S. Navy's Pacific Fleet 74 years ago today. The attack crippled the Pacific Fleet, including sinking or damaging all 8 battleships. Meantime, 7 Pearl Harbor survivors will be honored at a special remembrance ceremony on the USS Midway Museum this morning. We're going to have that for you on 10 News at 5.
And they're going to be greeted by a extra spectacular sunrise this morning.
Yeah, and sunset tonight too. So grab your picture or grab your cameras and send your pictures into our 10 News Weather Watchers page or tweet us at 10 News because those high clouds just lead to some beautiful colors out there. 52 downtown, 39 degrees in El Cajon right now, and these clouds are coming in from storms to the north of us, well to the north of us in Oregon and Washington, and they're going to be passing as we head through the next several days. So anything from mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies expected through midweek, and then we'll talk about rain later in the week. This afternoon, about as warm as yesterday in the low to mid 70s along the coastline with low 80s for our inland areas. Coming up in 10 minutes, we'll talk about the chance for showers later this week as well as the cooler weather. Renee.
Well, take a look at this real quick. 805 north, some ugly slowing you're seeing here as you cross over the 54 and the 94, speeds down to about 15 miles per hour. Let's get over to Caltrans showing us the 5, however, near 28th Street. No major problems to report to you there. Things slowing just a little bit on the right-hand side of your screen. And over to our 10 News Sky Cam, as promised, a look at the Coronado Bridge. A little bit of slowing there as well, but no major problems to report. Coming up in 10 minutes, I've got a look at Escondido. Guys?
Okay. A loud crash wakes up neighbors in a Pacific Beach neighborhood overnight. We'll show you what people found when they ran out of their home.
Plus, a warning for mothers-to-be, the drug often given to certain pregnant women that could lead to autism in babies. Also, we are giving you a chance to win a free trip to Legoland this hour. Yeah, just keep watching 10 News this morning. Listen for that cue to call. 10th caller wins a family 4-pack of Legoland tickets. Yeah, it's a bit of an early holiday gift from us and Legoland to you. Now remember, just watch us this hour because that's when we'll tell you to call. Stay tuned.